Welcome to another video, Low Country Lowdown. Still have Ryan Fenter's golf cart here. This is part 2. First part, we fixed the hole. Now we're gonna fix these cracks. We have one there, here, and there's one on the front. But yeah, stick around, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. There's probably a lot of different ways that people can fix these rips and cracks. My way, I'm going to show you guys today. I'm just going to go through it real quick. We're going to drill a hole at the end of these cracks just to make sure it doesn't continue. A lot of times if you fix this and just don't do anything back here, sometimes the crack could continue. So we want to try to stop that. So we're going to drill this out. And we're probably going to clean up the actual crack itself. Then we're going to take a hot stapler. And we're going to line these along the crack. And those should act as stitching. That'll give it some structure and give it some strength to hold it together. And when all that's done, you're probably going to use the same repair material as the hole to make it look pretty. As you can see, we got our hole drilled just at the end of the crack. That should stop it from wanting to continue to rip apart. Got it there, down there. Once you get your holes drilled, you're going to want to clean up the crack itself. Right now it's kind of hard to bend it back in place and get it where you want it. So I'm actually going to cut some of this material out. I mean, essentially I'm going to make it worse than what it is now, but that should help me get it at least level to where I can stitch it back together. To do this, I'm just going to use a little grinding wheel. If you got a little Dremel tool or something, you just kind of route it out. So let's get going. This is what we got, guys. As you can see, you can clearly see all through it. It allows this to kind of go back to its natural position before it was kind of buckled. So now we got it all cleaned up. I'm actually going to take some sandpaper and get it in here and just kind of clean it up. In case you guys are wondering, 80 grit. This little scrap piece I had from earlier. Now we got it all cleaned up. Go ahead and proceed with the hot stapling. Guys, this is the stapler that I'll be using. There are thousands of these out there. I could post a link to this one, but let me show you how it works. If you don't know how a stapler works, just give you guys a little demonstration. It's got 2 prongs here, one for each of these on the end of the staple. Get them in there like that. Once you have it cut on, push your button and it gets it nice and hot. See how red it is? And that heat melt the plastic and the staple will stay in the middle. So let's go ahead and get stapled. So the staple idea was a fail. They're not sticking in there to make it work. I believe it's got something to do with these fibers. This plastic has some fibers, either some sort of olefin plastic fibers or fiberglass, I'm not sure. The same hot staple gun also comes with an iron tip. Got some plastic welding rods. You definitely need to know what plastic you're using. You got some polypropylene, ABS, PVC, just all different types of plastics. And your plastics should have the indicator on them somewhere. This one is a triangle number 5. That's a polypropylene. You can look online for different plastics depending on what you got. Some of them actually say it PP or PPE or PVC. Some of them actually have it stamped, but this one just indicator with the triangle with the 5 on it, so I know that's polypropylene plastic, which is going to require the black filler rod. And basically all this is going to do is it's going to heat up the plastic, and this is basically adding more material to it. It's plastic welding is what it is, or soldering, but basically we're going to fill this in with some the stainless steel mesh, and that should support the backside for this. Now we got our mesh cut out to approximately the right size. First thing we're going to do, guys, is kind of melt this plastic a little bit. We're going to add some material to give the stainless steel mesh something to stick to, something to bite into. So we're just heating this up. And what you kind of want to do is just start from one spot and just melt it in. It's a slower process. So now we got some plastic on this thing, some filler material. You could probably leave it like this, or maybe add some more and spread it around. But to be on the safe side, I like to add stainless steel reinforcement to the back, some wire mesh, just to give it that little extra strength. So we're going to try and just heat it up enough to where it just kind of melts into it. It's going to be a slow process. You got to have some patience with it. Sometimes you have to hold it, cut the iron off and just let it cool, just so you can get it to stick. Once you got it stuck, you can always come behind it with some more filler material. We'll just dab it in. Move on to another section. And we just continue this process on up. Might want to let one section cool down so you can move the mesh around. You can see how it's stuck. Don't want to rip it off right now. I'm actually probably going to come up here and see if I can melt it down here. Get it to stay like that. Now we got our mesh secure. We're just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this. You got to have some patience. This is definitely a slow process. Here's what it looks like when you're all done. As you can see, it's a It's all bonded together now. Pretty strong repair. Now all we gotta do is go around to the front side and make it look pretty. All right, now we're on the front side, and I'm basically just gonna clean this up with a little belt grinder, and then I'm gonna sand it off and apply some filler material. Now we got our crack beveled out. We're gonna come in here with some 80 grit and sand it all back and get it all cleaned up so we can put some filler material in there. We're going to be using the same filler material we did in part 1 of this video, the Easy Sand multi-purpose repair material. And just like in part 1 video, make sure you use your adhesion promoter. And we're going to let that dry for approximately 10 minutes. It's got a little curve right here, so it's going to be hard for me to work, so I'm just going to use a glove and spread it around in there. That's pretty much it. We're gonna let that dry and come back and sand it out. All right guys, let this sit overnight. Now what we're gonna do is sand it down and smooth them out. All right, after a lot of sanding, this is what we got. You're gonna wanna make sure you feather out your edges real well. I think I got a little more work to do right here. I'm not gonna bore you guys with a bunch of sanding. So yeah, but after this step, you're ready for your primer, paint, whatever you're gonna do. In this particular golf cart, this interior section is going to be still textured, which is why I was sanding it with 80 grit instead of 180. If you're gonna want a smooth base coat, clear coat, then you're gonna wanna make that, probably finish that off with 180 instead of the 80. That's pretty much it, guys. We fixed the crack. Now we got a structural repair on the back side and a cosmetic fix on the front. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share, stick around. We're gonna finish this off and maybe another video show you guys how this whole golf cart turned out. Thank you.